Hi, I'm Allison Havens, and this is Havens Handiworks. Today I am going to repot some plants that I got from Steve's Leaves. We have a philodendron hastatum narrowleaf. I ordered it about a month ago, and their recommendations are to let them acclimate in your home for 1 month before you repot them or you void the plant warranty. And then I also have this Syngonium macrophyllum. I got these two really beautiful planters from At Home a couple of weeks ago. I'd say a month ago. They were having a half off sale, so they didn't cost too much. I think they came out to like $15 each. So my soil mix, a lot of people make their own soil mixes, and that's great. And some people use like Miracle Grow and just amend it a little bit. I kind of go with that route, except right now I'm using Stay Green. I pretty much will use, if you're going to use Pro Mix, that's fine. If you want to use Miracle Grow, that's fine too. I just use Stay Green because it's cheap. And with as many plants as I have, cheap is better, really. So I do, I'd say 2 parts Stay Green potting mix, and I usually add in 1 part of Gobbler or Goobler, however you say that, orchid bark, coarse orchid bark. I didn't have that much this time, so I'm going to add Leca instead as my perlite, coarse perlite and bark. Okay, bark alternative. Okay, so there's that, and then I do, I'd say 1 to 1.5 parts Better Grow orchid. I get this from Lowe's. And it's also what I use to make my moss poles. It's really good. I mean, it's as good as you're gonna get for basic orchid without an arm and a leg, or orchid sphagnum. And that ain't even close. I'm just gonna go on my hands. It's dirt. It never hurt nobody. I do have a drop cloth underneath me, so if I make a mess, not that big a deal. And how did that just happen? I just flung dirt onto my eyelashes. That's great. Not even close to mixed in yet. This is gonna be a few minutes. Another handful. To hydrate the sphagnum, I do Super Thrive solution and water. I just use tap water because I'm on a well, and that is good enough for most of my plants. My my calatheas, I use reverse osmosis water. You can use distilled. They do not like chlorine, fluorides, things like that. Really heavy water. They tend to brown. So that's what I do for those. All right, so okay, so we're going to start with the philodendron hastatum narrow form, and I'm just going to kind of gently massage the roots out of the pot, and they look honestly great. Good and healthy and fuzzy and white. Bright and crispy. And I'm just kind of gonna shake some of that in there, some of the soil off of it into there, and we'll add some of my mix into the pot. It's very heavy in organic matter, the soil mix I use, so you figure a year, maybe a year and a half, and I will have to repot this. But that's okay. It's also why I'm going with a slightly more than your usual 1 or 2 inch pot upgrade. I don't plan on repotting this for at least 6 months to a year. I know a lot of people say don't do that. I just tend to be more careful when I water later. And I also tend to go a really long time between watering on all of my plants. This Tomatophyllum, this right here, it's in a huge pot, and I water it maybe once a month, if that. My Monstera is every 2 weeks, maybe. I mean, I have some plants that I water a lot, but my Urids are not one of them. I think that's good. What can you expect from my channel? You can expect a lot of plants. That's, you know, a big hobby of mine is plant keeping. The occasional DIY. I do a lot of that around the house. Sometimes needlessly, like all of us DIYers. Sometimes it's just for fun. But you also might see a little bit of art. I paint quite a bit, or I used to. I've taken kind of a break. I needed kind of like a little break. I had some artist burnout. And so you'll see a little bit of that on my channel. But mostly plants, DIY, just, you know, wholesome content with a lot of sass. I plan on doing a few unboxing videos, maybe a couple of import things as I remodel my home. I'll post videos and updates on how I do certain things, how they're done, and obviously a lot of those are going to be a lot of DIY, like painting the walls, flooring, redoing the floors, skim coating countertops, things like that. Might see a little bit of garden stuff on my channel. But yeah. Okay, so macrophyllum. This is my macrophyllum. And the pot I've just kind of had it sitting in because it's the one I got for it, specifically for it. Okay. Sticker removal. Goodbye, stickers. I hate you too. Okay. Say hello, Mr. E. You probably can't see him. Yeah. Mr. E. He was my first rescue. as an adult. No joke, I was that kid who brought home every stray cat or puppy or bird that fell out of its nest in the neighborhood. Did not grow out of that. Make a mess, making a huge ass mess. But that's okay. Plants are messy. Okay. Alright. Macrophyllum time. Opinions. Common versus Latin. I prefer Latin scientific names over common names because we've all seen the wandering dude argument, and I can't tell you how annoying it was to look for a Monstera deliciosa and having to look, only knowing it by Swiss cheese vine or split leaf philodendron, which is what I do it by. There are a lot of plants that go by split leaf philodendron. I am that annoying person that goes into like the plant groups and we'll see someone call like a thaumatophyllum a saddleback philodendron, and I am that annoying person who will say, you mean a thaumatophyllum? I don't know why. It just bugs me. I think most of it is just, I can't stand the confusion behind it and the annoying mislabeling. Or worse, when you go to a store and you pick up a houseplant and you have no idea what it is, right? But you know, like the general idea, like obviously it's an epiprenum or pothos. And but you don't know which kind, and it just says houseplant, or it's a discidia, or a peperomia. That one happens a lot too. You get a houseplant. It's a peperomia, but it's a scandens, right? So it looks like a heartleaf philodendron. You have no clue what you have. All right, I think that's good. I try not to press the soil down too much. Brush off some dirt. Trying to get some in the water. Now I'm gonna water these later in the shower. I didn't bring my pitcher full of water in here because I didn't feel like lugging a bunch of drip trays in here into my bedroom corner to do this. Okay, now I think I'm gonna do one more. I have just enough here, I think. Yeah, in existing soil and soil I just mixed up to repot my, oh, forgot a tag. That is for you. I think I have just enough dirt to repot up my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. Or Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. I have to agree with Rachel from Heart Shaped Leaves. If you haven't seen their channel, or her channel, you definitely should. But I have to agree with her. It is so much more fun to say Rhaphidophora. I think it's that I can't hear the name without hearing her saying it with the transatlantic accent behind it. Oh yeah, okay. Tiny root system. That doesn't change much. Let's mix that with old soil, with new soil. The old soil for this one is my own mix, so I'm not too worried about putting the old soil with my new mix because it's basically the same thing I'm already using. And I repotted this one, oh, I'd say a month ago, or 3 months ago. I repotted this one 3 months ago from its tiny little nursery pot. That around. Yeah. So good to go. This one's planted a little deep down in the pot. I usually don't like to plant them that deep, but it is also going from a little 5 or 6 inch pot to an 8 inch pot. I think that's it. Thank you for coming to my first episode, and I hope you keep coming back for more. Bye. Oh my god, so much sphagnum left. Stop hating me, my ferns. Water me.